Silent treatment is not the same as when a woman goes silent because she's tired of repeating herself, she's tired of talking, or she's trying to keep herself from being disrespectful. You keep playing with her, and now she's done talking. She's already exhausted all the words she can exhaust. I want to make that abundantly clear as we follow up the conversation from yesterday when I talked about what silent treatment is, how abusive it is, et cetera, et cetera. I saw some guys ready to run with this and say that every woman that ever bites her tongue or ever, goes quiet is essentially being manipulative and being emotionally abusive. Yes, that can be the case. There are women who will use silent treatment as a form of punishment. We talked about this already, but silent treatment by a narcissist is used to do one of three things: either to control you, silence you, or to break you. If they're really pissed off and they really want to hurt you and they know that you have an unhealed abandonment wound, they can use silent treatment to try and break you. But when we're talking about whether a man or a woman, by the way, I'm making this in the context of a woman because these are a lot of women that were saying, hey, sometimes I go silent, and I saw guys saying, oh, it's still abuse. If it's silent treatment, that means, again, it's more of a punishment, a retaliation. There was no warning. There was no boundary stated. There was no discussion beforehand. It's strictly a thing where, like, okay, you're not doing what I want you to do, so I'm going to hurt you in a way that I know will bring you into me, like, or I have the power. That's more so silent treatment. Again, we talked about this in depth on the live chat yesterday. Go check it out if you missed it. But let me make this very clear. And again, this goes both ways, but I'm going to speak to my fellas on behalf of women because I saw women typically saying, I go silent. That's not the same as when a woman goes silent. When she gets quiet because she's already told you how she feels, but you've ignored her. Or she's already talked, but you don't even care to listen to what she's saying, or you get mad at her for saying what she's got to say and stating how she feels. You turn things back around on her. So now she knows that the conversation is going to be full of her getting attacked just for bringing forth how she feels. Or if you've been lying, if every time that she says, all right, this is what I think, this is what I feel, I want to give you an opportunity to tell me what it is, and you just be lying, and then she goes quiet, that's not silent treatment. That's not silent treatment. Or if maybe she's working on herself in terms of her mood and her tongue and in terms of her emotions, and they're really high right now. And she's already said, look, I need to calm down or whatever. And she goes quiet, but you still trying to press. And she's trying to save you from her disrespect, from cussing you out, from really getting really messed up when you really going to be thinking she's a narcissist and abusive verbally and all that kind of stuff. That's not a woman that's giving you silent treatment. Most times that's a woman who is holding a boundary, enforcing a boundary. She's already let it be known. She's already told you. 9 times out of 10, this is the case, by the way. Most people aren't out here just being emotionally abusive. I don't believe that. It happens enough where we need to address it. But I've seen a lot of times where a woman will explain and she'll articulate and she'll be patient and she'll give grace and she'll forgive and she'll make exceptions for. And time after time, it's like it becomes a point where she feels like she's enabling you in what you're doing to disregard her feelings by continuing to talk. And at some point you get tired of talking. At some point you get tired of giving words and they not being appreciated. So while she's in the space of, all right, I need to either figure this out, or I've already figured it out, but I'm just waiting till I make my move or whatever, she may go quiet. She may stop talking. Or if you have a situation where a woman is truly done with you, like she's done. Like, no, she's not coming back. She's done. And maybe she don't want to talk no more. You know what you did already. It's already been discussed. You already know the childhood trauma that she's had or previous relational trauma that she's had. And you done completely broke her again in that exact same way. So now she's done. Yeah. She may not give a 2 weeks notice. I don't consider that going ghost at all. Like, what you did was effed up. You smashed her best friend. You did something crazy. You put your hands on her. Or you called her out her name. Like, she may at that moment have nothing else to say to you. Now, that's completely different again from silent treatment. That's a woman who's now gone quiet. But just in a general sense of when you're in a relationship, I think we got to understand, fellas, like if you're not one hearing her, and she'll let you know most times if she's not trying to abuse you and all that kind of stuff, she'll let you know you're not hearing me. You're not listening. Your pride, your ego, something's getting in the way. You're not taking what I'm saying and taking it seriously. And you don't take it upon yourself to then take it a step further and say, okay, how can I better hear you? whether it's to get a book related to y'all conversation and check with her and see, hey, is this what you were trying to convey to me? Whether it's to get videos, maybe something like this, or whether it's to try and invest into a counselor, a therapist of some type, try to get a mentor, some type of mediator involved so that you can hear her. If you don't take the extra step and she's already let you know she's not feeling heard, she's not feeling understood, and then she goes quiet, that ain't on her no more. That's on you. That's on you. Because her job was to clearly communicate and assert where she's at and that she's at her limit with just trying to do it, directly to you and explain to you. Maybe the words ain't coming across and she ain't communicating or whatever. And especially, let me add this, because I do think that she has a responsibility to offer some of these things. But what I'm seeing a lot of is a lot of guys who have all of this pride and his ego until the woman goes quiet. Now all of a sudden they the victim and the woman is the bad guy. She done offered up counseling. She done offered up one of these videos I or somebody else does that better conveys what she's trying to say. It ain't about me, but whoever it is that may be also talking to men in a way that men should be able to understand, and it gets shut down. Don't show me his videos. I want to see that dude video, blah, 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 blah. You ain't got time for a book. You ain't got time to listen to a podcast or something like that. You don't want to go to church. You don't want to go to counseling. And she done offered up these things. Yeah, she gonna go quiet on you. And now you can't sit there and reverse that on her, because that would be indicative of you being a covert narcissist. Now, I say indicative of because I'm not out here outright diagnosing people with narcissism. That would be irresponsible of me, unethical of me to do. But we can acknowledge when something is narcissistic in its nature, especially of the covert type. For those of y'all who don't know, when we talk about a narcissist, there are different types of narcissists recognized by psychology. The main two types being a malignant narcissist and a covert narcissist. A malignant narcissist is one that's like all attention on me. I look so good, abusive, just like of the highest order of, outright, very easy to spot. A covert narcissist, which I think is the most dangerous, because they're passive aggressive, they're underhanded. They love to play the victim especially whenever they're caught up in the wrong. Put I down in the chat if you've ever run into a covert narcissist. Seems good on the outside to other folks or whatever, but very underhandedly disrespects you, undermines you, invalidates you, turns it around on you, has you second guessing yourself. Again, I see some of y'all, put I down in the chat if you've ever dealt with somebody that took very underhanded, passive aggressive attacks at your self-esteem, at your self-worth. You tripping, you crazy just because you bringing up something that you feel, gaslighting you. You know what I'm saying? That would be more a covert narcissist. So in the same way, a covert narcissist can also cause a reaction from you, but then play victim whenever they receive the reaction from you. So that looks like ignoring you, totally just invalidating you, putting you last on the priority list. But then whenever you finally put yourself first and you start saving your energy, now all of a sudden, why are you doing that? You don't want to uphold your end of the bargain. You're not contributing to the relationship. You see this a lot. Now, it's kind of a sidebar, but it's important. You see this a lot in relationships where a woman will pull away from a man because she feels emotionally invalidated, emotionally invisible. Y'all let me know down in the comments if you've ever experienced something that I call relationship loneliness. That's where you feel more lonely in your relationship than you did even whenever you were single, because you're so estranged from the guy that you're with based on his actions that invalidate and minimize how you feel about things. He don't want to hear it. He don't care to talk about it. He trivializes it. He blames you for whatever it is that you bring up to the point you really don't want to bring it up anymore. And not only do you not want to bring up the issues that you might have, you also don't want to talk to him and connect with him the same way that you used to. Like newsflash, fellas, women do not find it attractive. Grown women don't find it attractive at all when a man diminishes or completely invalidates her emotional well-being. That's not sexy. You may think that from high school, middle school, that the girls love the guys who cared not about them, etc. But grown women, 25, 30 and up, want to feel emotionally safe. They find that sexy. They find that attractive. Matter of fact, ladies, I can say it all day. Y'all are the ones that can validate or invalidate. Am I speaking facts whenever I say that? Y'all find emotional stability. Y'all find attention. Y'all find emotional safety to be attractive. Not a man who don't like to communicate and, blurred lines and gray area about how he feel. So back to what I was saying. when it comes to a woman being quiet, understand that's the first step probably to her leaving if you don't get it right. That's probably, and I say probably because sometimes that's actually the final nail in the coffin. It's probably a warning sign that she's starting to mentally check out, even if she's physically still there. Again, this ain't silent treatment now. Silent treatment is when there's no warning, etc. But when a woman has exhausted herself, she will pull away first from the problem-solving efforts. Then she'll pull away from her affection, her connection with you. Again, it's not to punish you, but it's because a lot of women's affection and their emotional well-being are tied together. You got some women now who don't care. They'll give their body to anybody. They'll go fold laundry all over the place, clean up every house or whatever, even though they're being emotionally completely ignored. But you got a lot of women who say, hey, I am a full package. In order to get that level of me, that version of me, you got to take care of me emotionally. You got to safeguard me. You got to pay attention. You got to make some adjustments. You got to be open-minded. You got to give me priority. If you want all of those submissive and feminine things out of me, there's certain things you got to do too. Some women. So when you get the silent treatment, or not silent treatment, that's a whole different ballgame. My bad. When you get a woman being silent, when you get a woman who's gone quiet, when you get a woman who's done talking, understand that is a flashing alarm that you got to get it together quick. She's probably already experiencing relationship loneliness. And then only so long she's going to put up with that until she actually just says, I'd rather be alone than lonely with somebody I'm in a relationship with, which I think is the smartest thing to do because, like, let me tell y'all something. The whole time you over there stressing over somebody who don't care nothing about you emotionally until you already one foot out the door, you stressing over that type of brother. And there are grown men out here who don't need you to be one foot out the door before they take you seriously. They too busy making it a priority to make that house into a home with you while you're in there because they understand it's a privilege the entire time that you're in that home, building that home with them. They don't need you to step out, 1 foot out the door. They don't need that first. So you don't need to be stressing over somebody who's not taking you seriously in any capacity when there are grown men out here already grown, ready to prioritize you, ready to cherish you. Now, I'm not coming at all brothers. I'm specifically saying there are evolved men out here who have the mentality, whether it's by experience, they done learned in their younger years when they were the ones messing up, whether they got mentored, et cetera, or that's just what was modeled to them as far as a real relationship goes. There are evolved men out here looking for a woman who's even willing to put forth the effort to communicate, resolve conflict, to express her feelings, to express where she's at. So while you over there being invalidated in one relationship with the dude that don't care, understand there are evolved men out here who would find it as like a blessing, like who would cherish that. Now, for those of y'all, and I've seen it at the corner of my eye, some of y'all, where are those guys at? You don't have to go looking for an evolved man. They are looking for the right woman for them, an evolved woman to insert into their life because they know that a truly loved, evolved woman is going to maximize everything that they're trying to make happen in their own life, going to maximize them as a man and their mission in life. You just have to know how to position yourself for that evolved man. You have to know how to attract an evolved man by bringing out the 7 qualities in every evolved woman an evolved man is looking for. They're going to come looking for you. Now, if you want more on that conversation, click the link that's pinned here in this comment. I posted it right here. It's also in the caption. If you don't see this comment, look in the caption, the link, click it, get access to the free masterclass where I break this down. Secrets to making evolved men crave you. You don't have to go looking. You don't have to go running. They'll be lined up around the corner for you where you can choose the right one for you instead of continuing to entertain these dudes that you're sitting here trying to raise into grown men because they came to you as a grown boy. Now, back to what I was saying. Fellas, it goes vice versa. Goes vice versa. Ladies, some of y'all need to hear this. When your partner goes quiet, that doesn't automatically mean silent treatment. Consider what was done beforehand. Like to my fellas out there, if you got a woman, man, again, she done expressed the emotion. She done described the hurt. She done suffered in silence for some days, weeks, maybe even months. And you know that you was tripping out, know that you was putting her last, know that you had everything else more important than what she was expressing to you. And then she finally gets quiet. That ain't silent treatment, man. That like you reap what you sow. You ain't got nobody to blame but yourself. And you better hope you still got some time left on the clock to get things right because not everybody that you push away comes running back. Not everybody that you push away is even willing to let you come back. Word to the wise. But those are just my thoughts. Y'all let me know what you think by sharing this right now. If you got something from this conversation, somebody else in your timeline needs it, they're going to thank you. So share this stream right now if you got something from this conversation. And don't forget to get access to the free masterclass, Secrets to Making Evolved Men Crave You, where I break down how to evaluate and how to attract an evolved man into your life. Again, pin right here in the comment, that link right there, and also in the caption whenever you back out. I'll let y'all later.